And I think we're live. It is super laggy on my end. You guys let me know in the chat if this is lagging on you guys. It is an exciting day. We have so much that is happening in crypto in the last couple weeks. We have XEN launching today. There's a Richard Hart interview later this afternoon. And there's new stuff happening, I feel like almost on a daily basis. Today, we're going to get into XEN crypto. This project launches in 2 hours, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Are you going to participate in it? Are you going to FOMO into it? Or how are you going to go about doing this? We're going to talk about the strategy, right? There's an article I found on XEN strategy. So we're going to read through that and then pontificate and just talk about that. There's also a stream here that Motley had put together. So I haven't read through it yet, but we're going to read through what his stream is. I heard it was very valuable. So we're going to go through there. Hopefully we can find some good nuggets in there to share. And then we're going to take a look at the calculator. I want to hear what you guys are doing, right? This is a very exciting time to be in crypto. I'm going to be participating in this. I don't know if I'm going to do this more than once or just once or how I'm going to do this. But as we go through the show, I will tell you how I plan on actually participating in this. And you guys can make your decisions based off of what's going on with that. So let's say hi to the chat real quick. What's Gucci, everybody? Good morning. It's Saturday morning. Hex Logic, PDC. Hello, hello. Fun launch day. I like how it's on a Saturday too. So there's a couple things going on with that, right? By launching on a Saturday, GWEI tends to be lower, but also more people are off of work. So more people could theoretically pay attention to this. It's got exciting day with XEN launch and RH on Hexo. Very interesting to see what this does to gas fees. I'm also interested. We can make a little bet on this and we can see how this is going to impact gas fees. Let's go. Yes. Mr. Profit. I'm just claiming one wallet today. I think that's probably my strategy is 2, but how long are you going to claim that for? I'm thinking maybe the same Mr. Profit. Yes. LFG, gentlemen. LFG. RH Max is in the house. RH Max, I recommended you to my buddy yesterday to check out your shit. I was like, you will probably enjoy RH Max because he's a smart man. Here we go. Yes. Poor man. XEN launch, RH interview, Hexo, big day in crypto. It's 7 p.m. Where are you in France? Good morning down under. Hey, what's up? I actually just went to the post office because I was shipping something to Australia. Good morning. Let's see, who else do we miss here? Come get me, aliens and freedom. Hey, great to see you again. Junior, modern day. What's good? Okay, let's listen to some DeFi proof before we get into this video. And boom.
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking no blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way. Crypto in the morning, 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 crypto in the morning.
It is a good morning. I am about that plant. It is a great morning. What an exciting time to be in crypto. I'm so thankful that I'm in this moment in crypto, paying attention. Are you guys paying attention to what's happening? Because we're literally transforming everything in finance as we go through this. There's cool shit that's happening in the background. There's fun stuff that's launching, all sorts of crazy shit that's happening. We're going to first get into Motley, right? He did a little string of tweets to understand what's going on and how to actually claim this, because I believe it lays out the semantics of this. Then we're going to get into some strategy on this, and then we're going to get into the calculator. So let's dive into this. If you guys have any questions, hey, Flat Earth, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments here. J Par, is there a specific problem Zen solves? Centralization of ownership, right? You can have a fair distribution where not all the coins are going to one person, right? Think of like Binance and BSC. Think of Richard Hart and Hex, right? You can have a fair distribution. And this is the first time this kind of thing has been done. I love this. This is super fascinating. So we'll see how it plays out, right? I think that the utility is going to be added on after, right? Just like people added on the utility for this thing, right? Back in the day, this wasn't capable of a lot of shit. Now it is. Now you can do all sorts of stuff on here. Okay. Molly, the investor. As the Zen claim phase is mere hours away, I wanted to condense what I believe to be all the key information you need to develop your claim mint staking strategy into one location. Let's start with the better understanding some acronyms on the Zen calculator. So we're going to get into the Zen calculator in a few moments, but there's some things on there that are not actually labeled. Well, they're labeled, but normally you can press an I or a question mark and it will tell you about that. But you have to go to somewhere else to find it. So mint term. This is how long you choose to wait before claiming your Zen. During the mint phase, longer mints more. Initially, the maximum limit will be 100 days but after 5,000 users, it would begin to increase. Graphically representation here. So that's the white paper for that, if you care to check it out. I read it a while back. Number of new users. Participation after you. The AMP, so this is the amplification. Think of like if you were in Hex back in the day, that's similar in the sense that there's an amplification period of time, which is limited, which you get a bonus, so to speak, of like how much Zen you're going to get. Amplification variable is very important. It starts at 3,000 and decreases by 1 every day until it reaches 1 a little after 8 years, where it'll remain. Oh, I misspoke on that. Look how drastic the minting of Zen declines by decreasing AMP by 1,000, roughly 3 years. EAA, this is what I was looking for. Early adoption amplifier starts at 10% and decreases by 0.1% per 100,000 users until 10 million, and it will be zero, and it will become zero, right? So 100,000 users, this decreases by 0.1% per 100,000 users. Look at something like, hey, say Hex, for example. Hex on Etherscan has 300,000 holders, right? So this could take a while for this to happen, although this could happen a lot faster, right? This could be substantially faster in terms of adoption. Right? There could be way more holders to this because it incentivizes people in a way to market this. Now, there are penalties if you're late claiming your Zen, and they are as follows. Day 0, 0. Day 1, 1%. Day 2, 3%, 8%, etc., etc. Day 7, 100%. Moral of the story, don't be late claiming. Organize the claiming of your wallets carefully. Proof of participation. Lastly, let's cover Zen staking. Maximum length is 1,000 days. APY starts at 20% and decreases by 1% every 90 days until it reaches its floor of 2%, where it will remain. Now, on this, I believe that when you stake, if you stake for, say, 100 days, and now it is, say, 96 days later, your percent stays at 20% for the duration of your stake. If you were to withdraw and then stake again, you're going to be at the lower rate on there, because that was one of the questions I had. So hopefully that was helpful to somebody else. You lock in the APY at the time of the stake. It's advantageous to lock in a higher APY early and longer, just like Hex. For example, that's an additional 56 to 57% bonus if you lock in 19% APY for 1,000 days. Unlike the claim phase, there are no penalties for being late to end your stake. But if you end anytime earlier, you will always receive your entire principal while losing all your APY rewards, which is interesting, right? Makes sense. Hopefully this condensed all the information available in Zen in one place. Thank you. It's up to you guys to participate or not participate and develop your own strategy. Good luck. So this is cool. I'd like to take a look at the comments real quick and see what people are saying. Let me pull this down. Let's get in here. Zen, JPartners are specific. We already talked about that one. It teaches first principles. Yes. Yes, I think that's what a big thing for Jack Levin, right? He wants more people in crypto, and he wants true crypto where it's decentralized and not one person's controlling the whole thing. Everyone says they are decentralized. That is correct, and most of them are not. Multiple accounts on the same MM works, or here's a good question, or we need actual two independent MetaMasks. You can use one MetaMask and use multiple accounts on MetaMask. So if you're not, let me pull this up here to share this out. You guys should definitely share this out. If you haven't, take a second. There's a little arrow down below. Just press that share button and the like button and share this out on Twitter so we can get more people involved in what is actually going on here. But I'm going to share my entire screen here for a second. If you're not familiar with how to do this, it's pretty simple. You should be able to see my screen here. Once this opens up, right, you can click down here, and if you are on a different network, and go to the appropriate network. Where do you add your account? Right somewhere in here, create account, right? I can just create another account, right? Boom. Now I have another account, and I can use this to actually claim. So hopefully that was helpful in answering your question. Solution, looking for a problem. Everyone as in who, many says it, few are. Well, BSC, right, we just saw they just closed down the blockchain, right? That gave me big worries about Pulse Chain personally. Flippin' Twit, minting for the full 100 days will end on Monday, January 16th. 98 or 99 days will be Saturday, January 14th, and Sunday, the 15th, respectively. Low gas on Saturday and Sunday. Also, Flippin' Twit on this. We're going to get into their strategy article in a moment. But on this point, what do you think the most common thing going to be for the people who mint long term? I mean, most people are just who were like, okay, well, it's literally $4 or $2 in gas. I'm not going to need that $2 in gas. I will put this out for 100 days. And they're just going to stick to 100 days. So what do you think happens in 100 days? Do you think a bunch of people dump? Do you think that, a lot of activity is going to happen on that day, right? I think that it's possible people could sell some off in 100 days, right? If it's worth more than the $2, right? If it has a 10x and it was $2 and now it's $20, or maybe it has a 100x, right? We don't know what it's actually going to be worth. So this will be fascinating to see how this all plays out. So kind of front running everybody before that, you might be able to pick up more on the market or whatever, or just hold on to your shit. My strategy, I'm going to make and claim ladder till 1 to 3 years. So you're going to put your stuff out for staking for 1 to 3 years. Sounds like Jack Handy just needs separate addresses. That is absolutely correct. Steven, good to see you. Pinkern. Minting on 10 wallets per month for 12 months is my strategy. Use 2 wallets for gas costs. Ooh, I like this. So you're minting on 10 wallets per month for 12 months, out 100 days each time. That sounds like a very interesting strategy. And you could do, right, like if you're like, okay, on the first of the month, I'm going to mint some every single month, right? Could this be the thing that like helps drive gas costs up overall, not just at this one time, if there's adoption, right? I think that the utility of Zen is going to be so important. How are we going to determine the utility? What types of things are people going to create? Like Maxi is created around Hex, right? Somebody else is going to create something around Zen. One of the things that's already created around Zen is zencrypto.io. Zencrypto.io is not the official website. Somebody else created that to help out in the community. So I want to see that, what the community does. Like, what do people develop around this to make this even more valuable and drive more adoption? Because that's what it's all about, is adoption. Each account on MetaMask is an individual wallet. You just have the same recovery phrase for them all. So yes, you can use 100 wallets from the same initial MM. Yes, thank you. Very nicely put. Bob, how much for gas in your wallets? Probably $5, maybe 20 if you want to be conservative. I mean, yeah, I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, do you think that there's going to be, I forget what we calculated the other day, like 175 transactions that could potentially happen per block?
170.
170. Thank you.
Well, 170 claims of Zen per block. That's assuming that nothing else is happening on Ethereum.
So there's obviously going to be other stuff happening, right? Thank you for that, Bullish. There's obviously going to be other stuff happening on that. So you figure maybe 50% is Zen, right? Maybe that drives up the price. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out. It's just going to be free crypto. This has never been done before. Like, this is not how shit is ever distributed before. Think of like how a bunch of the things in this community have been distributed. How was Hex distributed? It was given free to Bitcoin people, right? How is Pulse Train going to be distributed, right? You got to pay for it effectively, right? But it's way more than gas is. How has Weight token been distributed? It's been for people who were associated with something else. On the Cosmos network, there was something that we covered this 2 months ago, where if you did transactions, it was distributed. So you have all these different ways to distribute tokens to people. And this is the first one I've ever seen with this mechanism of distribution. That's unique. It's very unique. And we don't know how this is going to play out, right? If I want to get somebody, like, say my dad, into crypto, right, and be like, hey, you can just get free crypto. Yep, it's $2. You just pay this thing here, and you can say in 100 days you'll have 1 million crypto, or whatever the case is. Is that going to be worth anything? Well, we don't know, right? We don't know how this is going to play out. I want to hear some of the ideas you guys have around utility that could be created around this. What are some ideas that somebody could utilize Zen to implement, right? The first thing that comes to mind is taking payment in it, right? Or something like Maxi. Why couldn't you just implement a Maxi strategy here, where you do, to take advantage of the 20% before it drops down in 90 days? Do a Maxi type contract where you have 20% for 1,000 days, or well, I think it was maybe longer than that, with the staking, the maximum length that you can stake on this. And
maximum length is 1,000 days.
Okay, so just over 3 years?
Yeah, more or less.
Or about 3 years. Okay, cool. Thank you. And so you could have a Maxi contract that's staked out there for 3 years with Zen. There's all sorts of other crazy cool stuff that you can do that somebody just resourceful or creative can come up with. A summer solstice on ETH about 10 USD or 0.01 ETH, BNB about 1 USD, Polygon. Okay, thank you for this. Yesterday in Zen Crypto, and maybe Bullish has more information on this, but he's only launching on Ethereum to start with. And then Jack is going to be launching on these other networks. Bullish, did you have more information?
That's correct. It's only Ethereum for now, and within days, the other networks.
Oh, within days.
Yeah, within days. That's what he said.
Okay, interesting. That's going to be fun. So if you look at summer solstice here, obviously Ethereum is going to be the most expensive in terms of gas. BNB, and you need about $1 of BNB. Polygon, you need about, it looks like 30 cents on Polygon. So that gives you some idea of where to start with in order to be prepared. I would also, maybe tomorrow, Bullish, we can go through and show people how to get onto Polygon. I've personally never been on Polygon. So that would be helpful for me, but also I'm sure it'd be helpful for other people. There is no referral program. Anyone and everyone that joins benefits everyone in the ecosystem. It doesn't matter how many people you personally refer. That is correct. Everyone's going to benefit. So think about that, right? Think about that, how that works, right? With something like Hex, who benefits the most? Richard Hart. He's in terms of USD value, right? Because he owns fucking the whole supply. With this, it's not like that. So it's very interesting. Just done creating multiple accounts in my for this. Jay, what's good is an hour and a half away, guys. I've got the timer up here on my screen, and it's an hour and 43 minutes and 23 seconds away. What up, everybody? Zen, yes. Gas cost is going to be a lot. Well, this is the perfect community to take advantage of this. Gas is going to be high. I might wait till some of you fuckers do this and then try. Like, I'll try it, and if it's more than like $5 or something, $6, I don't know. We'll see, because being in that first 3,000 is also important. We're going to get through a couple more comments, and we're going to get into this article here. AO, from what I've seen, I think everyone benefits the same. It doesn't matter how many people you personally refer. Bullish can correct me on this if I'm incorrect, but if the more people come into the network, the better it is for everybody in the entire network. Right, because the way that the distribution of the tokens actually works.
What was that? I'm sorry. What was the question?
Future, if you have the network growing, the people who are in earlier are going to benefit by having an increased supply in tokens. Correct?
That is correct.
Yeah. So the new people added into the network, whether you get them in or somebody else gets them in, doesn't have to matter. If you're in relatively early, you benefit from all.
Yeah, you benefit from more people coming into the system. The more people that come in behind you, the more you benefit.
And there's going to be all sorts of creative ways to get people involved in this too, right? Both,
like, giving coins, right? So like, I plan on like, hey, Dad, here's some Zen. Hey, Mom, here's some Zen. You know, like this is how you do it. So like, that's how you start, and then they start getting their people into it. Like, oh yeah, like my son gave me some free crypto. You can get some free crypto too. So like on the base level, like anyone can do that. And then on top of that, there's like a lot of stuff that people are going to be doing. There's functions built into the contract, like the NFT. That you can pretty much mint an NFT that holds Zen. Like there's all kinds of stuff you can do like that, like Watson type stuff. Creating derivatives.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? The bonds thing might be
like right? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that can
go. Maybe that would be kind of cool if you guys want to see something of that. Bullish, what are your thoughts on? Because this is what a lot of people are probably thinking. Say the first, if we put it into 3 sections, like 0 to 30 days, 30 days to 60 days, and 60 days to 100 days. What are your thoughts about the minting during those phases?
As far as like what we can expect to come actually into the market?
Yeah, what do you think most people are going to do?
So I think there's like 3 different strategies. There's the people who are going to be holding, like diamond handing it for the long term. There are people who are going to be creating 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and basically have coins coming out every single day in order to provide LP and, make some trades and stuff like that. Because some people have been very open about, I want to be able to provide LP as quick as possible and, add to it as every day, coins are, coming into minting into my wallet. So yeah, that's what I see in the beginning. Within like the first 30 days, we're definitely by tomorrow this time, by the time it launches, we're going to start seeing Uniswap, starting to have a pool created. And it's going to be, you're going to be able to buy it pretty much by tomorrow. We already know what happens, low liquidity, what it can do for price, etc. So, that might make people change their minting strategy. So I can see that happen depending what happens with Uniswap. All these people who went in and maybe minted for 100 days, see what's going on. It's like, okay, let me go and create, 1 day mints, so I can get some coins tomorrow to sell on the market, or trade or whatever the case is. So over the next 48 hours, I think the people's strategy is going to change depending what they see on Uniswap. And then there's just the people who are just in it for the long run and they don't really care what's happening with price action right now.
I think that there's definitely going to be some FOMO, because think about this, Bullish. What if tomorrow, over the next week, we see, like a 5x increase in relative to gas prices or something, right? So if you see a chart going up like that, people are just going to FOMO into that. I think the price action in the market is going to help dictate people's strategy for minting, right? Because if people see that price going up, they're probably going to change that 1 to 100 day.
Right, exactly. Right.
On,
and I think it's natural, for the people who see that price action to be like, oh, maybe I messed up by doing 100 days. But no, you didn't mess up, because just create another account, go mint for 1 day, and tomorrow you'll have some coins that you can sell on the market, or set up LP position, or so that there's a lot of different ways. But it's going to be very interesting after today, the type of content we're going to start seeing, because now people are going to be able to have it in their hands.
Yeah. Oh, and the LP on this could be very interesting.
Right.
Like, because I mean, you're getting a supply of say 1 million tokens for, $2 or something. And the marketplace could easily value this at 10 or 100x in like a very quick period of time. You know what I mean? So this $2, what is that? 200 turns into $200 very, very quick.
Right.
And think about the like the effect of that. If you have, say, this thing that was $1 to $2 to get 1 million of them or whatever, and then it has a 100x return on that, it's going to clog up the network in terms of like, oh wait, I can pay $3 for gas, and I can mint 1 million plus tokens in 30 days or 90 days or whatever it is, and I can sell them on the market for more. So there's no way to sell it down. Do you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So go ahead.
No, so that's what's fascinating about it. That's why, I'm aping in, the moment it launches. I'm using different minting strategies, as far as terms. So I can have, a little bit of both. So I can have stuff that's staked, out 100 days. I can have stuff that, is coming out in a couple days, 30 days from now, etc. So, I'm going to be playing around with multiple wallets in different terms. So I can, have some coins available in case, there's a play to be made.
Yes. And lately there's been a lot of plays to be made with this crypto stuff. Are you going to stake? So let's hear what your thoughts are on staking.
So yeah. I'm gonna have my long-term plan, is probably to have an LP bag and a staking bag. So as I'm minting coins, I'll transfer that stuff. So like a main wallet then I'll start staking that stuff long-term. And then a portion of that will go into like me providing LP. So I do plan on providing LP.
An LP could be very interesting. Very interesting. Like, not necessarily in the sense that, you could see a very big upside to this, but you could also see the flip side of this, right? Because you don't just want to look at things through rose-colored glasses, right? Because people could get these free tokens they're paying $2 or gas, whatever that gas might be, and they get 1 million tokens, and now it's worth $25, right? You could see some people that are like, okay, cool, it made $25, and then they sell their shit. So you could have the downside of this. And if you look over on Hex on W or F, there's a lot of Hex that people are trying to sell. Is this going to be the same case over here? I don't know.
Right, yeah, we'll see.
Right, because there's a boatload of people on W and F who are trying to sell their shit, right? Whether it's Hex or Hedron. If you look at the lopsidedness of the liquidity there, and there's a lot of those people that are trying to sell their shit. Is that going to happen with Zen? I don't know. A lot of people are super excited.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, this is a big experiment. So, the next couple of days and weeks are going to be very telling.
Very super. Yes. Let's go through some of these more comments here. Appreciate your insights, Bullish. Sam, you think you mint for 100 days and come back to claim? What's the longest time you can stake 1,000 days? Yo, what's good? Hey, I'm new to minting. I have 1 MetaMask. What is the best strategy? This will be my first time. Hey, well, welcome. Just some overarching thoughts. I would just try to perpetually learn a little bit every day about crypto. If you are brand new to all this, I would focus on security for the first month and kind of thing. And then there's no right or wrong strategy for doing this. If you believe that Zen is solving a problem, if you believe that the unique distribution of this, right, instead of just sending it to people who hold some other token, sending it to people of another network, or sending it to people who already have money and resources in some way, this could be more appealing to, say, the everyday person, right? Because do you think people who have hundreds of millions of dollars, or even somebody with, 20, 50, 60 million dollars, right? Do you think that going to spend $3 on gas to mint some token that, they're just getting distributed differently? Do you think they're going to care to do that? I don't know. I could see that a lot of those people wouldn't do that. So this could be made, and we'll see how this plays out, might be more of like the coin for the masses because of that, right? Because it's not just going to, if you look at how Hex was distributed, people already had Bitcoin and it was distributed to people in Bitcoin who already had money, right? You don't have to have any money to do this. So it's different. The people who, Bullish, what was that token that was released on like the Cosmos or ETH? It was like some other network.
EVMOS? Yeah.
Yes. How was that? Can you describe what that was like real quick?
Oh, like
wasn't it gas fees or something?
Well, yeah, EVMOS is like the native coin, but like, yeah, it was great. And it's pretty much done like a 3x since I got into it.
And you, in order to get it, you had to have done transactions.
Oh, right. You mean the airdrop, right? So based on the transactions you did on Ethereum, you got a free airdrop. That was direct one. Yeah.
So what does that indicate? That's indicating people who are doing transactions on Ethereum are people who have money, right? So hacks got distributed to people who had money, right? The EVMOS airdrop Bullish was just talking about, that got airdropped to people who did transactions on Ethereum network. So people who had money, right? Because you're not doing transactions if you don't have the money on there. This is distributed completely differently. Does anyone have the official website for launch? It is, Bullish will drop it in the chat here. I think it's XEN.network. I think it's XEN.network where you can go check it out. That's where the minting is actually going to take place, which we can pull up in a moment. Let's see. There's too much going on for my brain. There's a lot going on right now. And with this, I think we're going to see some more stuff happening before we see a bull run, right? Zen will perma increase ETH fees. Bullish for Pulse. Yes, because this will launch on Pulse when Pulse launches. It's a referral Ponzi. That's interesting. Hey, let me know why you think that is. I'm curious because I don't get any direct benefit from anybody else doing it. So, Jay Parr, I'm curious. Why do you think that? I'm curious. Please don't make this stake an hour long. The stream, I think it's going to be about an hour long, and then I don't know if we're going to go live again. I might or might not go live for the actual staking of it. I think I'd rather pay attention to what's going on at that time. The one who delays gratification longest will win. Yes, like usual, completely agree. We're going to touch on their article here in just a moment on Zen strategies. I want to see if they have anything unique. Leslie, what's good? Thank you, sir. You were freaking awesome. Are you getting involved in Zen? About to take place. Okay, there's a lot of, I'm way behind on the comments here. So I'm scrolling ahead on here, and then we're going to pull up this article on the Zen strategies. Here we go. Zen strategies. Did you have something to say, Bush? Let's get in here.
I was going to tell you to pull up the super chat, but you did already.
Oh, yes. Leslie, thank you. I was way behind on the chats here. I don't understand how many tokens we get per transaction. Hey, stay tuned. We're going to get into that shortly. We're going to try to go through this article quick on different strategies for Zen. And then we have a calculator on how to get an idea of how many coins you're going to get so we'll play with that. Can you touch on how to limit gas fees in MetaMask? Bullish, do you have a understanding of how to do this? So you can set it up so that you only pay gas a certain amount. I know it's possible. I don't have a great understanding of it.
Yeah, so that's for pretty much anyone. And in your MetaMask, you can pretty much set your gas limit. So this way, you don't overpay, or miss out on minting or it rinses your wallet as far as ETH because, you didn't set a limit. So in MetaMask, you can set your gas limit by going to, where is it? Pretty much when you're doing the transaction, you'll see the setting there. As long as you have to enable, give me a sec.
Yep.
It's under advanced, and you have to enable advanced gas controls. So you go to settings, advanced, and then enable advanced gas control. And from there, you'll be able to set the limit of gas.
And so on that, thank you, Bullish. Appreciate that. When you do that though, right? So you want to, if you're lowering the gas, right, then that means your transactions probably not going to go through, assuming that there's congestion, right? So there might be a potential issue there. If you guys see this, block this user here. Okay, let's get into this. We have how to best plan your Zen strategy. So this is on zencrypto.io.
What up?
Oh, look who showed up. You guys get a little bicep in the chat.
Dude, I'm turning into another human being.
You're fucking stayed up all night, dude.
Yeah, I talked to like 3 people last night. I did a consultation. Like, I just couldn't stop. My brain couldn't stop.
Good.
I'm sorry, guys, for not being here on the show on time, but I can promise you I'll be live for a few hours. And thank you, Sam, for coming on here. And sorry about that, guys. Let's talk. Whatever. Just keep going.
Zen Crypto launch is approaching fast, and on October 8th, today, right, we have launch in about an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. We'll be able to connect our wallets to the official Zen network website and mint Zen tokens for ourselves. Hey, you want to actually, if you're on here when you get back, oh, he's not here. When you want to start interacting with the chat, there's a lot of questions that I missed in the chat there, and there's a lot of people watching. So I'm going to go through and look at this article. If you see any really good questions, go ahead and pull them out and pause me, because I'm going to be looking at this article. This is amazing because we can now do the Zen Satoshi Nakamoto did 13 years back when he first started minting Bitcoin. We collect. Here's some of the strategies provided. So let's take a look.
Sam, I don't know. These questions are not super legitimate. The first one I see, Zen doesn't have a founder who has a psychological issue or are considered a scammer by pretty much the entire crypto space. Listen. No, seriously, this is important, Sam. This is really important, in my opinion. You don't know who fucking Jack LaVenne is, Latin. So wake up. You don't know. I don't know him. I met him. I shook his hand. He took a private jet to Vegas. But I mean, goddamn, that's not the hardest thing in the world to do if you have a private jet. Go to Vegas and say hi to a couple of dorks that are obsessed with crypto. So I'm not saying I'm real. You know, Sam, I'm the most real. Like, I just have to keep it 100 with it. So this could be. Let's play the other angle of it. All right. What if Richard is the only guy being himself, and somebody from a different area that knows that we don't know anything about how shit works is going to come in here and be the top dog because he knows how shit works. Probably more than Richard. Google, motherfucker. I don't know. Again, this is all speculation, but I think Jack's an amazing person, personally. But I'm saying, if I saw him do something shady, I'd be like, yeah, you know, that's the life. Like, if anyone thinks this shit is fair, if you think anything in legacy finance is fair, you can write me a little poem about it and send it to me, because I'm under the impression that no, but I think this is cool and awesome. But that was one point I want to say. We don't know Jack. We've
known him for 2 months.
I know. I've watched Richard Hart for 10,000 hours on live stream, and he's never switched a beat, other than just like talking about different things. Of course, like talks about clothes and Gucci's and stuff like this. But he's always said the same thing. He cried when Bitcoin was fucking going zero because he's like, I thought this was the future. It's not the future. I know it. He cried, Sam, on live stream. And he was like, I thought this was it. This is not it. There's no devs. There's no miners. He was crying. And I felt so
connected or
I felt so connected. I was like, oh my God, man. Because I know what it's like to sacrifice myself for something that didn't work out before. And man, he put 10 years into it. Satoshi never showed up. No one ever showed up. No one ever did anything. No advertising, no devs, no anything. And he put his whole life behind it. He was crushed.
Sounds like your mic might not be plugged in potentially.
Is it not plugged in?
That's way better.
Sorry, it was just moved.
Way better. Thank you, Leslie. Okay.
And that's all I wanted to say on that. Sam, you are a person. You've met a lot of other men in real life. I did sales all the time, met so many men in real life. You're not going to play me off of a smile and a video. It's just not how it works in real life. And he's smart enough to know that as well. So in my opinion.
And like, what if this is a rug pull? Like, how do you rug pull something like this? And
Well, what if it's
right?
garbage?
Right? Yeah.
No, well, what if it's not a rug pull? What if it's garbage?
What if it just sucks and
What if in 3
nobody's
months
actually
we're all like,
interested?
what the fuck are you supposed to do with it?
Yes.
I'll
It's-
buy the bottom and then what? That's all I'm saying, though. Like, people need to understand the point. You have to understand the point of the protocol, in my opinion, and understand the code. Like, very simple, very small, very short, very easy to do. So that is what he's kind of made it seem like, at least. And so just
Godfather.
remember, we're in crypto. We need to be none of us are certain about what's going on, guys. If you think I was up all night putting bots on my shit, I don't fucking know how to do that. But I was not. I didn't even think about. I haven't thought about Zen minting once today.
Until right
I
now.
bought some Hex Pal this morning.
Godfather asks, when we start our mint today, is there a minimum amount of days to mint, or is there a maximum amount? So minting is going to go on forever. As long as it's on the blockchain, it's going to continue going on forever.
It's just tech. So this is the whole thing, guys, that people get a little bit. It's a concept that people get confused on, and it happens in every crypto that has this kind of hex included. They're like, is it inflationary forever or is it minting forever? Like, they can't figure it out. But guys, when the minting becomes negligible due to the parameters that they put in for over 8 years, he said this, 3 years, 5 years, 8 years, is like the minting becomes negligible even if every human on earth does it. So what you have to understand is they put these things in place so that every human on earth does it. That's why the code and stuff is simple. People are like, why is it simple? Why can't it be the most? You want everyone in the world to have it? You want so something like this, Sam, you know what I mean, though?
It has to be simple. Like, look at the user.
Dude, it's crazy.
Look at Google. Like, why did Google beat Ask Jeeves, or as my tone turns on because it's listening to me, right? Why did Google beat Yahoo or Ask Jeeves or any of the other query sites, right, to search on the web? Because it was simple. You went to a site and there was a search bar in the middle and there was a search button, and that was it, right? The simplest format, and that wins, right? The simpler things is what allows people to adopt into something. If it's complex, you're going to scare people away.
Right. And I'm worried, Sam, that there's so many big brains dealing with Zen that want action, and there is no action. It's like, I'm not saying that it's not going to do good. I'm saying there's no action. Like, guys like me that want to eat into the liquidity pool, there's not enough units per the 10-year outlook. So I can't. I need more units, or I can't buy a bottom.
The LP on this could be super interesting how this plays out.
How am I going to LP this? No, I know. You're so right. 100%. Dude. Oh my God. Dude. Oh my God.
Because I haven't seen Jack mention where it's going to be tethered to, right? So what if because this is the community that's actually participating in it, what if they tether this to Hex, right? Or maybe
we could tether it to whatever we want with Stargate Finance or whatever. Like now, liquidity providing across chains is the future, and Jack knows that, and that's why he's launching on different chains, because he thinks people are just going to liquidity provide. Because as you can see, the same thing's happening on Hex F and Hex PAL now that they're parity roughly, or have moved past that parity point into some sort of trajectory difference. Which is being manually done by someone, by the way.
Zen.network. Zen.network is the site where you're going to connect your wallet to and do everything through there. We'll pull it up in a second. I'll just read through a couple of these strategies here. Zen. So this guy, Michael Salo, Zen crypto community member, this dude here, shared his strategy on Twitter, which is conservative and cautious. He writes,
"Oh, this is good."
This guy.
Wait, who's this?
Michael.
Just a random, they're just giving him a shout out. Is it just like a Twitter post?
Well, here's his Twitter thing. I can see what
Zen crypto community member. He's the guy that. He's the one who made that channel.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
You want to read through this?
I actually have to grab one thing.
Cool.
Can you just read the first paragraph, then I'll read the rest.
This guide suggests a balanced approach to minting Zen. it is not a guide to minting or to getting the absolute max out of the program, but more to get a stable and easy to manage minting experience. People who are minting every single day, like, I don't care. I don't fucking have any desire to do that personally. I don't have any desire to. It just doesn't seem stimulating to me. To set up a minting strategy where I mint 100 days, like every single day for 100 days.
Well,
no, that's not what he's saying.
On one wallet, it wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah, one wallet wouldn't be terribly bad, but
I'm doing two. Guys, remember, I'm lazy. Like, if people don't. There's one thing that say, like, there's some guys that will melt every piece of copper at their house to get the USD values worse, and there's some guys that'll throw it in the trash. I'm the guy that would throw it in the fucking trash. Like, I just don't. I'm telling you, I'm lazy. I'm efficient. I want my time to myself. Because that's the only time I feel emotionally happy. And generally, unless I'm talking to like somebody that I like. So I want to, when I'm in this state of emotional happiness, I can work so exceedingly well. Because I was working decently well and I was depressed for 8 years. So now it was like depressed, more like unhappy, unfulfilled. But like, now it's so different. It's so different. It's like, it's just like, I know why people say I have to put myself first now. It's like, because I can change the world, or someone could, like,
because you got to be fulfilled to create impact for other people. Like, it's the miserable people that are creating misery for other people.
When's the last time you felt miserable? Give me an age. For real though, like, obviously it's all a little psychological, but
I mean, there's been moments in time where I haven't had good thoughts for myself, and I've thought like certain negative things, but they're just glimpses in, and I think that for me, the reason I feel those things is because I'm just not taking the path I want to take. I'm reading this really good book on a tangent. Really, it's related to your mind and attention and focus. It's by this researcher at the University of Miami. It's called Peak Mind. I think it came out in 2020, 2021 or something. Very interesting. She goes on into all this research in mindfulness and how incredible like the results are in terms of recognizing where your attention is. Like, people think of meditation, they think of foo-foo fucking shit, right? But recognizing where your attention is. And there's 3 different types of like attention or how to go about doing this. And it's very, very interesting. And I think that when I go through and I think about being miserable, I honestly don't remember the last time I felt miserable, but there are moments in time where I don't feel necessarily the way that I would like to be feeling.
Like,
and
you wake up from that. Like, if you really
focus on the wrong shit.
Well, when you're young, sometimes you'd be always like, I was always focused on the wrong shit. Like, there was never a day where I was focused on the right shit. Like, when I was young, my brain was I was punching walls, smacking people, running into stuff, telling people no, just from the second I came out the womb. And then but I was always told that I was, I was a troublemaker. So I frustrated people. So they would say, you're bad, you're time out, you're this, you're that. They had to live their lives too. And now it's just like, yeah, I can do more work than you in one day than you do here. No, but you know what I mean? It's like, I wanted to free my time. And I think, guys, the whole point is like, it's about emotion. I say this all the time. People don't believe me. They think I'm a bullshitter when I say this. But me and Sam are self-help dudes. Like, literally. Like, I found Sam because I was searching self-help 6 years ago. And I was doing it before that too. Because I was like, I want to get out of this motherfucker.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yes.
so
I just described a book that I'm reading about fucking, trying to learn something or improve or just open a different perspective for myself to get better. But let's dive back into this.
Yeah, sorry guys for the tangent. And I'll go live at 1 just to make it up to everyone.
That's when it's going live too. So you're going to do your mints live on the channel?
Yeah.
Okay, dope.
Or at least the one on my streaming computer, I will.
The assumptions he makes, so that'll be good, guys. That's going to come out in about an hour. We're going to wrap things up here quickly and look.
I'll do what I can. I'll show you. I'll do what I'm not going to expose my whole life story, but I will make sure that people know what's going on because, frankly, I have to know what's going on too.
Yes. The assumption he makes are that time is the biggest amplifier of yield. I would agree with that. And with this premise, your mint term should always be the maximum length. So it depends on people's preferences and what they have going on in their life, right? The second assumption
The word
is
yield, Sam.
it's what?
The word he used, yield, there. Interesting, because what if the yield has no value? What if the yield's worth nothing? Is the yield going up due to what it said? No. It's going up due to it's going down. It's a no users. If there's no users, bro. It's about users. So they said the number one thing was about time. In my opinion, the number one thing is users. Time can be cut in half, and the users, if they're all there, if there's users, it'll probably. But that's just my opinion.
But I also wouldn't be surprised.
Some verbiage here.
I wouldn't be surprised that, like, even during a bull run, you're going to see garbage fly, right? You're just going to see like stupid rug pull crap that's going to be like performing very well. And I think that something like this, users is obviously tremendously important. But what is people don't put things into context of time, right? So what happens over time is that gives people the ability to get in, right? Remember, 3.5% by the end of this year. I predict it'll be 7% of people in crypto. So I think that I see what you're saying 100%.
Yeah, like it really, again, people love to scooch around the fact that you need more people, like in the verbiage. Like
and that's the only thing that fucking matters.
They don't look like putting that onto Word. Because the truth is, it has like some weird security. Like people think like, oh, it's Ponzi because you actually need more people. Okay, of course, that's how everything works. But when it comes to securities laws and stuff, we like to twiddle around those kind of words.
Zen almost needs users more than other things, right? Because say with Hex, right? Somebody who owns a large portion of the supply could manipulate it, right? As they've done in the past, right? But with something like this,
someone who's new could also buy the bottom on Pulse and have so much of the supply and they had never even known what was going on.
But still, somebody else is going to. Richard Hart's still going to have more of the supply for Pulse,
right? But I mean, again, it's like so available. Like it's so available, and there's guys like you, there's guys like me that they haven't touched a lot of the stuff on ETH in a while, you know. And I'm not buying Hex for the fork when there's going to be a couple hours of trading volume that are going to be close to zero. So it's like, there's no chance that I'm doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not selling my Hedron though. Fuck that.
Yeah, that's going to be a crazy time.
But my Icosa yield, bro, dude, I added to my Icosa stuff. Dude, that's a great savings account for anyone who's. I love that. I mean, I was doing it before, but I wasn't looking at it.
I haven't looked at mine in a while, but it's also adding in the Hedron there too. And the Hedron, we know where that's going. Shit. But from Zen's standpoint, Zen almost needs the effect from new users on Zen is going to be more than the effect of new users on other assets because, well, obviously just because it's super light, right? But I think also because it's not concentrated.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just because the first 4 months, I've never seen a fair launch before, frankly. So like there's guys like me are like, man, okay, I'll mint as much as I can, but I need to wait for there to be active liquidity. I don't know if that's a month. I don't know if that's a day. I don't know if that's a year, but technically a lot of the supply will be out by that 3-year mark is like where the time where there's like active, real live liquidity users. But until then, expect extreme volatility. Extreme. Because there's a lot of people that don't know what's going on and they're going to buy a lot of stuff for a lot of wrong price. That's because they won't understand. Just simply because they don't understand, not because of anything else.
Yeah, correct.
What up, Motley? What up, Danny Boy? What up, Pep? What up, everyone in the chat? Great to see everyone in here. Wow, this is fantastic, guys. Sorry I woke up late. Surge up in here. Metcalf's Law, Zen equals participation. Yeah, you know, I've done some really, really deep thinking, critical not like as unbiased as I possibly can. And there are definitely holes to a degree, but you could poke holes in anything. So like what I see is that people are going to start. What do I think Bitcoin is? It's a utility token for centralized exchanges. So Sam, think about what I just said. I think Bitcoin is a utility token for centralized exchanges. Because why? Because it has really no use case. So ended up just a bunch of people with a bunch of money in the future just selling it on and buying it on centralized exchanges and fucking people over that have no idea what they're doing. And it doesn't do anything else.
I've also done more transactions in Bitcoin to send to people than I have with other things.
And I'm not going to say that you're a bunch older than me because you're really not that much older than me, but like I never even used Bitcoin once. I don't even know how. Like I bought it on Coinbase once, but I don't think new users even, you were around doing business. Like
that was the only reason why.
Exactly. I wasn't doing business. None of my friends were doing business yet. There was no business. We were in school. Like we were fucking around. So I don't know anyone who uses or mines Bitcoin. I don't know one human being. And the ones that I do lost it all in Celsius. They lost it all. Like I'm going to a friend's house later tonight and he lost all his money on Celsius as far as the Bitcoin he had. And he didn't really give a fuck. But like, I mean, he did at the time. But so yeah, I think it's important to keep understanding, keep diving deeper. Do not believe stuff because it gets hyped up on the internet. Sometimes I like stuff, so I talk about it, and then it gets like overhyped to the point where I'm like, I wasn't really feeling like that about it. I didn't want everyone to lose their shit about it. I was just excited about somebody trying to do a fair launch.
But and then that's where it goes like, okay, it's oversold. There's too many people in there. They're going to be dumping as soon as they get it on there because they think that there's like too much excitement. That's you have to be keenly aware of this kind of stuff because you just mentioned it. There's too much excitement around certain things, which means that people are going to see that as an opportunity to take advantage of the excitement by dumping shit on new people in some way, shape, or form. Right. There's going to be people who are like, okay, I'm going to do a boatload of 1, 2, and 3 day stakes and just keep dumping it on the market because there's so much excitement. Right. And that's what they'll try to do and turn that into a strategy.
And guys, when I said that about Bitcoin, I might have said that a little too loud and proud about the centralized exchange utility token. But if you look at the numbers, it's a centralized exchange utility token, and that's all it gets used for. What else does it get used for? Sitting in people's wallets?
I have a buddy who mines Bitcoin. He does somewhere between $18,000 to $25,000 a month. He put about 180 into it to set up the mining and set up the warehouse and everything like that. And 10% a month is pretty good, right? I mean, like 10% a month on mining,
especially on an asset that goes up in price over time. People don't miss that part too. They're like, they get right when they get the Bitcoin, they sell it. It's like generally people with computers in their house and hardware and working like mental function are not like running out of money constantly.
Yes.
So it's like, so that, again, there is some, I'm curious. And again, on that point, ETH POW, ETH Fair, no idea what's going to happen. Not a clue. But but it's interesting. I can promise you that. So let's go here. Goonin strategy. I'll read this one. I think I've woken up enough now. Goonin is also a Zen group crypto Telegram group frequent. What if I'm on here? That would be cool. Frequent Telegram user and says that he will remain to mint on Ethereum rather than going to mint on other chains. And the transaction fees will be lower. I definitely plan to lease to mint under those max days to get the good stake rate, he says. He doesn't have to have too many wallets and not be able to manage his time, so he plans to organize his wallets via spreadsheets. It's almost like a game. It's about gas, he reflects. He's going to start staking around day 30 days after Zen Crypto launch. He's going to consolidate all minted Zen into one huge stake, and he'll mix them up between some individual stakes, and rest he'll unite into one big stake. I see what he's doing. He's kind of like, it makes more sense long term for me too, like, because again, I always think about my time. Like I need to be I got horrible focus problems, so I don't like to add to the mix. Like I want to
managing 8 wallets for fucking Zen is not something super fun to me at this moment, right? Like I
want to study crypto so I can dominate the next bottom that comes out. Like and that's what I'm. You know what I mean? Like
here's a good question. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
How many wallets do you think is good for Zen? I'm going to probably be doing 2 wallets personally.
2 or 3. I said 3 to 6, but now I'm thinking more 2 to 3. And frankly, that's because I'm lazy. And if I'm not spending over $100 in gas fees, period, end of story. If I have to spend $100 on gas fees, I ain't doing it. Period. Don't care. Don't care.
What about the time length?
For
So say you do 3 wallets. Are you going to do like a 1 day, a 30 day, and a 100 day?
the stake?
Just for the time before you actually get your coins.
Oh yeah, so you pick it, right? I'm gonna do one for 100 days and probably keep the rest as short as possible.
Like 1 day to a week type thing.
Yeah, I look at it. I gotta talk to Bullish too. Bullish be busy as fuck now. I know, me too. I'm an idiot. I know. I'm sorry, but Bullish, if you'll talk to me face to face afterwards,
Yes.
I'll be done in a second.
What's up?
Well, no, he wanted to talk
I'll
about
be
it.
available to speak to my human face for like 5 or 10 minutes after the show.
Yeah, I told you I would. I said in the private chat.
You know what? I just know you're jumping around.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Well, no, this is actually perfect
Busy
time. GRC, you're going to be back on here at 1 o'clock, right?
Yep, I'm gonna come back on at 1 o'clock, guys. So and I'll be probably a little bit more prepped and ready. I had a weird last night. So guys, if you have questions, go to the Telegram. If you're scared and nervous and weird, go to the Telegram. If you have a problem, go to the Telegram.
And more importantly, remember, proof of participation. Don't go crazy minting a bunch of wallets and then you forget about it.
Yeah,
Then it defeats the purpose and you pretty much waste the gas for nothing.
And,
yeah, the guys that are way more organized going to do it better. So just let those guys do it and just buy a little bit.
And then there's also going to be, you can buy this from the market, but also just by participating in minting your own tokens. You know how we talked about distribution and fair distribution, right? Like hacks went to Bitcoin holders. The EVMOS went to people who did transactions on the Ethereum network. Other ones have, like Weight token, have been from the sacrificers on the tokens that are launching on Pulse, right? So there's many different ways to distribute things. Well, don't you think that if this is successful, if this gains adoption, that people are going to be like, I like that strategy. I would like to airdrop shit to the people who minted for Zen, right? Do you think that if Jack builds one thing, he's not going to continue building? Like he's been building for 20 fucking years, different types of shit. Just like Richard's been building different types of shit, right? He just took time off. You know, now he's going to continue doing this. This could be a target for airdrops.
And it could be a mass plan for him to make $1 billion. No one knows. No one knows. And I'm saying that, and it's because I think it's important to say both sides, whether I believe both sides or not. I don't really believe that to be true. But like there are people that do, and trust me, they say it loud and proud in my DMs. They say those Silicon Valley bros, they do this shit all the time. You know what I mean? This is classic. The guys from San Francisco, the guys from San Diego, the guys from down over there, they're like, hey, this is classic. So just be careful. Like, don't go crazy like these. And I'm just saying that I think Jack's a gentleman and a scholar and a family man, frankly. But I don't know Silicon Valley bros. I know guys that they like to drink beer all day and punch people in the face. Like, I don't know those kind of guys. Like, I'm an East Coast guy. Like, and I never really did any kind of tech stuff. So I don't know. But the guys that live down there and interact with those kind of people all the time, they say, yeah, generally what they say is they prop up projects. They put no USD value into it. They make it seem like they do a lot. And then so it's like, again, there is like, this is complicated stuff, and Jack Levin has been exactly dead on, honest about everything, but he knows he kind of has to be too, like to a degree. So the reason Richard Hart is the way he is because he put the team on his back and said everything that this world would allow him to say about truth and freedom over the last 6 years. Jack did not. Jack did not risk his personality to tell guys like me that you can buy the bottom and stop working. Jack didn't do that. Jack was mining Bitcoin for 50 cents, right? Like, so just remember, the reason people don't like Richard Hart is the exact reason I love him. Because he told the truth when no one else would. Sam was telling the truth about pharmacology. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't cute. It wasn't funny. People thought he was evil. People thought he was horrible. My parents were like, there's something, steroids bad, scary. And I said, no. It's not about that. You know what I mean? It's about the truth. It really was. Even if you were doing this, doing that, what don't matter. It's about the truth. And RH put the team on his back. And that's the reason everyone calls him a scammer. Everyone calls Elon Musk a scammer because he put serious impact into the world. Elon Musk made the fastest, most innovative, safest, best warranty car, less energy that humans could possibly offer, and everyone thinks he's an asshole now. But he could dominate you every day of the week, no matter what, without even trying. And you're mentally not in the same game as him. But he doesn't care. He gave up the right for his emotional like freedom, sacrifice, or whatever that is. They don't care. They're leaders. And this is their plan. And Richard could frankly think Zen is retarded. And I could totally see him being like, this is not how I would do something. But that's okay. And I'm not saying he will either. He could say it's awesome, but Richard's all about pumpy poo. And he says people buy crypto because of cheap fees and pump. He said that every day for his entire life. And, we'll see, Sam. We'll see.
What do you
be open-minded as we go forward? I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone to get hurt emotionally too. Like you buy something, you get all in, you put $4,000 in, you're a broke pleb, and then you lose something. And it's like the guys that knew what they were doing aren't going to lose nothing. They're going to get out.
Think about what happens if Zen has any type of users, right? There's 6,000 people in their Telegram. You guys check it out if you have questions. Very, very helpful people in their group. What do you like? It comes out, you get 1 million tokens for $3, right? And then those 1 million tokens have a 10x or 100x, right? Because there's so much excitement around it right now, right? That's could be very interesting to see how that plays out, because then you get 100x the value for a $3 fee, right? So what are people going to do? They're going to drive up the gas fees, right? Because if Zen
I get worried, this opportunity was staring people in the face on another chain, and no one took advantage. And so I'm thinking.
Oh, dude. Oh no, you're absolutely right. Hex is the way. Brought this up. He put a tweet up. You can like pull it up if you want. Where he basically said that for him, it's funny how people were like pretty much shitting on Hex W and Hex F, but are supporting Zen. It's like,
I know. It bothers the people that know both things, because it's like, bro, guys, I was just sniping bottoms, did 124x, took 6x my profit, told everyone every single moment, and then this comes out and it's a fair launch, and I'm like, I know, it's great, but like, I'm also here to make money, bro. Like to a degree, So it's important to understand that this is. I go into the Zen chat sometimes and go into the Telegram group, and I listen newer guys in there, and I leave because they're talking about utility. There is no Zen utility. Like it's a mint and a stake, and they're waiting. And Jack's been 100% transparent about this. He said that people build on it in the future, Stargate liquidity in between chains. But I'm just saying, guys, we're early, and he's taking a haymaker shot at something here. And I'm about it. Like, I'm about it. I was the first one to cover this on the internet. I had him on 3 months ago, and I've thought about this a lot over the time. And, it's not fair that I don't know exactly what's going on. I want to know exactly what's going on the back end. I want to know how many people there are. I want to know how many devs there are. I want to know if there's a marketing team. But I don't know those things yet.
I think we're going to have some more information tomorrow, obviously, there's going to be liquidity tomorrow, right? If it's like 8 p.m. or whenever the 1 day ticks around, we're going to have a liquidity pool set up tomorrow. We'll get an idea of what the price is by tomorrow, unless it's like waits till the 24 hours after launch. So it's actually 36 hours before you actually get your tokens if you do a 1 day stake. We don't know how this is exactly going to play out, but there's going to be liquidity up very quickly.
Guys, I understand that when you're minting Zen, it's free, but when you got Hex, it was free. When you got Hedron, it was free. When you got everything, it was free. And you can still lose money on it because you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you get too excited. So guys get excited. They see those LP pools open up, and guess what? Guys like me already have the spreadsheet in front of their face for how long until there's enough active units for it to make a goddamn difference if I'm buying. And you don't. And you're going to be like $1,000 day one. Amazing. I'll get a good deal. I have 3 million Zen. It's like, oh, well, I'm going to buy 900 trillion at the bottom or whatever. It's like, so just be careful. There's people and they're sharp and they're smart and they're paying attention, and they are here. There might not be 1 billion of them, 1 million of them, 100 of them even, but they're here, guys. And I want you to know that There was a time in the past that the Ethereum blocks get filled up so easily. So you can blow on Ethereum and the blocks get filled up. I paid $10 for a transfer between an account, I think like 3 days ago. And I've seen the fees up to where I needed to pay up to $2,500 to swap something. And guys like Richard, guys like Alex from Hedron, guys like they will pay that $2,500 and laugh themselves to sleep. But guys like me can't pay it because I'm like, dude, that's no way. I can't pay that. But they will defer to pay that. And under certain circumstances, it's the fees. So I'm curious to see the fees. I'm curious. I want to know what the fees were, and I hope they're not high at all. And
I want to see that adoption.
Whichever chain the gas fees are less, the native token, in my opinion, I mean the XEN token will be more on that chain. It will be worth or less.
Well, here, think about that for a second, because it's just so you have $3.
I gotta go because now I'm being crazy. I'm talking too much.
No, I'm sorry. $3 for gas, right? So anybody who's going to want to sell or provide liquidity, or say if they were going to want to sell this, they would like more than their $3. But you also have to factor in transaction costs. So now if you wanted to take this XEN and flip it to something else, swap it to something else, that costs 0.3%. It's probably going to be 1% in most of the pools tomorrow or the next day when those pools launch, because it's exotic and people want to earn higher fees because they're early on there. So you're going to have $3 plus another network fee to sell, plus a 0.3% or 1% fee to actually sell this. So I could see the price immediately off the bat being a double because of those you're going to have network fee again to sell.
I think people are going to lose money buying on the market early on.
Because the price is going to run.
Well, no, because they're not going to know. Yeah, it's going to run, and they're going to be like, "Oh, I should have got in on that." Blah, and then everyone's going to be like, almost using the liquidity. But if that takes a long time to play out, maybe it's natural. Maybe it's like a little more fluid than I think. Anyway, guys, Crypto in the Morning live every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll be live in 48 minutes, guys. I might do like 58 minutes. It might be like 10 minutes after, just because I got to get all my shit set up back here. Every day at 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. 276 in here. Please smash the like. Please support us. I really appreciate it. You guys know I'm not stopping for shit, so you might as well hop on the bandwagon. And if you're talking shit about me constantly, I'm just going to block you. I really don't care about any of that stuff anymore. I'm super busy. I got stuff to do, so I'm just going to block everyone who's giving me a hard time. Everyone have an amazing day. It's your boy GRC, Sam Stolt, XEN Protocol, guys. Are you serious?
You already know what time it is. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. 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 Waiting on phone. Crypto in the morning. Crypto in the morning. Smoking no blunt on my way to the gym. 11 a.m. and I'm already tuned in. Got me some hex and I'm making a stake. Got me some heads on, I'm making it rain. Pay me some maxi and that's just in case. Jim Reddit sent me to show you the way.